In this video, I'm going to show you how to do basic measurements using imagej. So the first thing you're going to want to do is open up your imagej, and we usually use Fiji. Fiji is just imagej. This is a free download. Hopefully you already have it downloaded. So the first thing you're going to do once you have this opened is to open up your measurement tool picture. So I'm going to go to open, and this is everything here is already in the correct format. So put everything on this disk. So here's my measurement tool picture. If you don't have this, you're going to want to make sure that you have it on your computer or on a disk. And this is taken at 10x. So as long as all your pictures were taken at 10x, this measurement tool will work. And to take a measurement, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to want to make sure you're on this straight, oh, don't do that, this straight segmented or free-handed lines. And I usually pick 50, so we're going to go from 0 to 50. And this whole thing from 0 to 100, that's 1 millimeter. So this is going to be half a millimeter, or 500 micrometers. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Analyze, and I'm going to say Set Scale. So the distance in pixels, oop, I missed one step, just kidding. So Analyze and Measure. So my length here is 1410.625. So now I'm going to go to Set Scale. So I'm going to set my scale, and my distance in pixels is that length there, 1410.625. And I don't actually need all those decimals because there's going to be more error than that. And then I'm going to put in my known distance, which is going to be 500. And my unit of length is microns. And our pixel aspect ratio, this is just like our up, down, back, forth, is going to be 1 because we didn't do any kind of skewing. And then we're going to say OK. So now I want to check this. So see, before when I press measure, these were the numbers that I got. So now I still have my same line, and I'm going to press measure again. And now I can see that my length is 500, so it's 500 microns, and that's exactly what it should be. So now that I have this all set, the next thing I want to do is actually do my measurements. And now whenever I do my measurements, it's going to return the measurements in microns. So I'm gonna until I close Fiji. Once I close Fiji, it resets it. So you got to make sure you do this every time you open up your imagej. So now I'm going to open up one of my actual pictures. And when you open up your actual pictures, you want to make sure that you're getting the merged picture, so whatever you got out of your helicon, and so that should be one of these files up here. So I'm going to pick the second antenna to do. It'll take a second to open it. So now it's open. And now this picture was taken at the same scale as my measurement tool. Both were taken at 10x, and so I know that I can, basically use the same measurement. So I'm going to do two different things here. One, I'm going to use a curved line, and one I'm going to use a straight line. So for most of your measurements, you're going to be using straight lines. So here's my straight segmented line. So right here, and I'm going to click and how do I know where to click? Well, I'll show you that in 1 second. So here's my new line. I'm going to say Analyze, Measure, and so now I've got my the length of my midline. So now I'm going to show you how to do a curved line, and a curved line is what you're going to want to use for something like an outline. So when the straight lines aren't going to work quite as well. So you're going to start out with sort of straight lines. So here's going to be my outline. I'm going to do kind of my best to get it with straight lines first. So I'm going to trace it kind of as close as I can with my straight lines. And then I'm going to click here and say Fit Spline. And that's going to make these lines curved. Now you're going to see it's going to make it a little bit off. So you can move your little dots here to be more closely on. So you can see, here we go, to be more closely on your structure. So now you see I have a really nice fit, and I can tell it to measure it again. Sorry about all these other measurements. I was doing all kinds of other stuff. And now I have my new length of my line. So that is how you will do these kinds of measurements, both the straight lines and the curved lines. Remember, for the curved line, you're just going to click on it. On a PC, you're going to do a right click on it and tell it to fit spline, and it will fit it. Okay, and that's it. So to get rid of your line, you just click somewhere else on the page. So here's my line, and then if I click somewhere else, it goes away. One other thing, if you press delete, actually do something really messy. So here's my line, and let's say I wanted to get rid of it, but I forgot. I can just click somewhere else and I press this. It actually literally deletes that part of your picture. So that's not necessarily what you want to do. All right, so that is the basics of how to use imagej to get the length normalized to the actual distance.